Go. Hello everybody, my name is Michael Music, and I would really like to give a public service announcement to the United States of America and the people of the world. Okay, so my message is pretty clear, it's pretty straightforward, but it's really powerful. Okay, I truly do believe, right, it is our God-given right to become rich, to become wealthy, and become successful, and really live a life of abundance, right? I truly believe, it is our absolute God-given right to live life this way, right? I don't see why there would be any reason why we are not meant to live a life of abundance. Now, with that being said, is that going to require you to actually put in the work, to have a definite plan, and actually follow through on that plan? Yes, absolutely, right? I don't believe in free lunch. But I'm really serious when I say this, right? Absolutely, right? I think every one of you, watching this, whether it's through Instagram or some other platform, right? I absolutely believe, right? This is our life. It's our life to live it the way, exactly how we want to live it. And you really do deserve a world of abundance. So, with that being said, right, I'm going to do whatever it takes, not only for me to become incredibly, rich and successful, but to bring you guys along with me, right? So it starts right here, right now. Let's get after it, right? Happy Monday. It's time to make some money Monday. And today I would love to really just continue on the conversation that I've been having around Think and Grow Rich. And so today I'm going to be talking about, definite, organized planning, right? Because I've never heard of an individual that has achieved noteworthy success that has just accidentally gotten there, right? I've never heard of that, right? I know every individual that I've studied, had a definite plan that they backed with continuous action. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So there's going to be three major points in this conversation today. I'm going to talk about number one, right? How do you create definite plans? What's happening, Kyle? How do you create definite plans? And then number two, right? What is the importance of having a mastermind alliance when it comes to creating definite plans? And then finally, number three, right? What is the importance of being persistent in following through with these plans? All right, so that's the conversation today, and I'm gonna start it off with this quote, right? I think this quote is gonna hit you guys interestingly, right? It's this, Napoleon Hill said this, right? Poverty requires no plans, right? I don't know too many poor people, but I understand, right? You don't need a plan to be poor, right? You don't need a plan to be poor. As a matter of fact, I know a lot of people who have achieved poverty simply by having no plan. What's up, Shu? So, anyways, but here's the thing, right? In order to earn money, right? In order to earn money, you have to really attract it, right? You're gonna need to have a definite plan. And this is what Napoleon Hill says, right? You're gonna need to have money when it is earned, right? When you want to earn riches, it comes by definite demands backed by definite burning desires, plus definite plans backed by continuous action, which recognizes no such thing as failure. Right? So there's a lot of principles that went into that one quote, and I'm going to touch on them today. So the conversation, right? Definite plans. And I'm going to share, how do you start to create, your definite plan of action? Right? And I think it really starts with this, right? For me personally, I think it's like essential, right? You're never going to make it on your own, right? You're not going to come up with the plan by yourself. What the best way to do it is to find individuals that have the results that you want, right? To find individuals as, like, for example, like a mentor or a coach that is already running a business, that is already doing the work and already successful at it, right? Because at the end of the day, they have a plan that got them there, right? And Steve Jobs says it himself, right? You cannot connect the dots moving forward. You can only connect them back, like looking backwards, right? So if you find a coach or a mentor who's someone who's already rich and successful, you'll just realize, okay, how did they get to where they are now? And can they show me the path? right? So that's like the first place that I started. And you know, for example, the first business that I ever got into was the simple painting business. But you know, at the end of the day, the people that I aligned with told me I had the chance to make $10,000 in a summer. And as a matter of fact, right, my manager and the people proposing this idea to me, right, they went through the business themselves. They made, you know, $10,000 in the summer, right? They had the results that I was looking for. And so I just, you know, adopted their plan. Even though it was uncomfortable to follow at first, right? It's like, you know, they had a plan, it worked for them. Why would I reinvent the wheel? Just follow the steps of people that they laid out in front of you. So that's what I did. And you know, it got me pretty successful that first summer. Even though I did experience temporary defeat, it got me started, at least, let's say, right? I'm not gonna say I was incredibly successful, because I did hit some temporary defeat. But even more so, right? This is also important, and I'm jumping ahead of myself, but the idea here is this, right? Even if the first plan doesn't work, right, it comes down to, okay, are you willing to replace that with a new plan? Right, I'm going to touch more on that later when I talk about persistence. But sticking right now to how do you develop plans, right, it comes down to finding a coach, finding a mentor, right, someone who has already gotten the results that you want, and just following what they laid out for you, right, following their plan, because clearly it's working. Right, if they are living the life that you want, if they are earning the income that you want, clearly it's working for them, right? It comes down to, okay, am I willing to lose the ego and just do what they say? Am I willing to do exactly what they say? And then the second point that I really want to touch on is the importance of the mastermind group, right? Because, you know, maybe you do come up with a plan, and maybe, you know, you think in your head it's sound and it's clear and it's definite and it's right to the point and it's going to work, right? But having the mastermind principle, which is a whole nother chapter in the book, Think and Grow Rich, right? Having that mastermind principle is absolutely essential as well, right? Because, you know, with the mastermind, right, you're going to have people that are in line with your purpose that you can double check your plans with, right? And they will tell you. They will tell you whether or not, you know, I think that's going to work. I think that's smart to do, right? And that's going to save you a ton of headache, a ton of heartache, and a ton of, you know, mistakes that you don't have to make simply by having a mastermind principle. Because, you know, this is something that no individual that has achieved noteworthy success has done without having the mastermind, right? No individual has truly done it by themselves. Right? Because the fact of the matter is, you're going to need the education, the experience, and the imagination of other minds. Right? Your perspective isn't the only perspective out there. Right? And it's important, right? Why not, you know, use other people's experience ahead of you so that you can save yourself a bunch of time with temporary defeat. Right? So having that mastermind principle is absolutely critical. And notice how, you know, even though I'm talking about definite plans and organized planning, right, how all the principles from Think and Grow Rich intertwine, right? The mastermind principle, being persistent, being definite, right? What is the reason that you have a plan, right? What is the end goal that the plan is going to get you to, right? All these principles intertwine, right? This is just one part of the wheel. And Napoleon Hill says it himself, right? You're going to need to be persistent in all 13 principles in order for this to work. Right? All 13 principles. You can't just skip out. You can't just say, no, you know what? I don't need to have a plan. We have a ton of buddies that think they're going to be rich, that think they're going to be a billionaire by the age of 30. But they don't even have a plan. How is that ever going to work out? Right? You need to have a definite plan. Right? In writing. I think that's critical too. Right? It's not just something, oh yeah, I have a plan, it's in my head. Right? No, you got to make it in writing. It's got to be clear, concise, for you to follow through continuously, to the T. Be disciplined in it. Okay? So, that was, you know, points one. And then, still speaking about the mastermind, I'm gonna touch on here for a moment, right? You got, like, yes, this is another principle, but it's absolutely critical, right? Speaking with your mastermind at least 2 times a week. At least 2 times a week, right? And working together in a spirit of perfect harmony, right? You can't just, you know, start a group chat, think you got a mastermind going just because, you know, maybe some people, a part of the group, are successful that, oh, you got the mastermind that it's all going to work out. No, you got to be working in a spirit of perfect harmony towards a definite end. Right? There's such a distinct difference between a spirit of perfect harmony and just cooperation, right? The people that you might be working with, maybe that's just a spirit of cooperation, right? That's not the same as perfect harmony, right? There's a distinct difference in the two. And Wallace Waddle says, right, it's not about doing certain things, it's about doing things in a certain way. So, I hope that's making sense, right? Points 1 and 2, right? How to build definite plans, right? Find people with the results that you want, and then additionally, start a mastermind alliance with them, right? Bounce ideas with them as you go along, and work together in a spirit of perfect harmony towards a definite end, right? That you're already halfway there if you have that, right? If you have a definite plan in a mastermind and a burning desire, and you're applying some of the other principles, you're already halfway there. You just got to keep going. Right? Then the last piece is just being persistent with it. And that's the third point that I want to talk about today, right? The importance of being persistent in following the plans. And let's say for example, one of your plans fails, right? Which if you do experience temporary defeat, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, right? Everyone that has achieved noteworthy achievement has been there, where they experience, temporary defeat, right? It's part of the learning process. So let's say, your first plan, it's not sound, right? That's all right. Are you gonna be persistent though and apply new definite plans to it, right? That's what it really comes down to, right? Being persistent, understanding, maybe my plan just wasn't sound, right? It's not that you aren't, worthy of noteworthy achievement, of worthy of success. Maybe it's just the fact that your plan wasn't sound. And so what's gonna be required is that you actually start getting a sound plan. And like I said, one of the ways to do that is through the mastermind principle, right? Having people double check your plans, having people that have the results that you want, right? They're gonna help you refine your plans so that they're sound. Because, you can have a plan, and if it's the wrong plan, if it's not getting you anywhere, right, no matter how much you desire riches, no matter how bad you want it, if you're following the wrong plan of action, if you're working super hard, it still might be the wrong thing for you, right? Let's face it, right? Construction workers, they work 10 times harder than most people, yet do most construction workers get rich? Right? No. And the truth is, right, it's not that they're bad people, that they're unworthy of it. It's just that they might be following the wrong plan. Right? So, understand, right? It's about having the sound plan and being persistent with it, right? Am I willing every day to follow my plan to the T? And let's say something goes wrong, right? Let's say I experience temporary defeat. Am I willing to adjust my plan so that, it goes right the next time? Right, so that I learn the lesson now, so that the lesson does not have to keep repeating itself. Right, being persistent, I'm telling you, this is the secret sauce across everything. No matter what it is that you are going to do, it comes down to being persistent. It comes down to being persistent and following through. And that's, that's the secret to everything. Right, no matter what it is that you want, where you have a definite plan in place and you follow that with persistence, it's only a matter of time until you make it there. Right? If you are willing to adjust your plan, to refine it and make it more sound, it is only a matter of time until you make it there. Right? There's no getting around the word persistence. Absolutely no getting around it. So, just to reiterate the conversation today, right? We talked about having a definite plan. And, most importantly, right, that comes down to 3 major keys, right? How do you develop definite plans? Well, take the plans of somebody else that already has the results that you want. Even if it's uncomfortable doing what they say to do, because you're going to have to start talking to people, right? Even if that's uncomfortable, understand that at the end of the day, it worked for them. And, if you found the right person, it's going to work for you. If it's a duplicatable plan, it's going to work for you. You just got to have faith and trust the system. Right? And then number 2, right, the importance of actually, not just finding a plan from someone that has the results, but starting a mastermind with them. And a mastermind, only consists of really 2 individual minds, right? It takes 2 minds to get together to thereby create a third invisible mind known as the mastermind. Right? It only takes, 1 extra person in your life to really combine forces together and come up with the mastermind. Right, so that's absolutely essential too. And then number 3, right, the idea of being persistent. No matter how many times you get knocked down, right, no matter how many times I experience temporary defeat, am I willing to learn the lesson right then and there? Right, am I willing to learn the lesson right then and there and put a new plan in and start following that? Right, because that, right, no matter how many times you get knocked down, right, that is almost like you're guaranteeing your success. Right, being persistent, there's no way around it. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. It's Monday. It's Mayhem Monday. Time to make some money Monday. Let's get after it. Let's go. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same channel. Bye, everybody, for now.